Hello everybody, welcome to this evening's special members live stream, and I've decided to host this one tonight for you all just because of the extent of the move that we have seen just come in, okay, and I'd like to just cover a few different things just because I had many questions come in obviously in the Champions chat, and for me it's easier to address all the questions in a video basically rather than typing it all out. So I obviously done this quick poll, and yes, we definitely have had more than 5 people, so here we go. Hope that you enjoy this one. While we can go over what I am, I'll explain how I am trading this, okay? So I am in a short position, okay? And why I'm in the short, where I'm looking to take profits, how I'm looking to trade this. So I hope that this clears up a lot of the questions that you have. And if you do have any other questions that were not asked in the chat, then just write them in YouTube, okay? So just write them on YouTube because I probably won't be checking Discord. So just address the questions in the YouTube live stream, okay? And there we go. Let's begin. Okay, so starting here on the Bitcoin chart. Obviously, what's going on here? Okay, so let's go over first. I want to go over first. Let's just delete everything on the chart. Let's just delete this, delete this, delete this. What's in the picture? Let's just delete these things. Okay, so why have we fallen down like we have? Okay, we always want to address that first. Okay, so before I say why I'm trading this, why I'm going it, we have to first address why have we fallen down here. Okay, because there's always a reason why. Let me address that first. So we come out to the daily chart. Okay, let's just delete everything. Coming up to the daily chart, what can we see here? Okay, so at this point we always have to remember larger traders love to tap liquidity. Okay, so on this chart, where do you think the liquidity was at? Okay, it would have been above this high, because what? Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Oh, sorry, lower high, lower high. This is a bad start. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Okay, so this was an important pivot for the market. Okay, what have you done today? You have just essentially swing failure patterned, where you took out the high of this daily of the wick of the daily level by $10. Okay, less than $10 you took the wick, so that is enough to get a lot of buy orders coming in. Okay, of people trying to buy the breakout, and it's also got enough orders of people trading stop losses to have their stop loss, $10 above that high, and they've also been taken out of the move. So a lot of people that had been trading stop losses, trailing, are now out of the move. Okay, so firstly always think, where's the liquidity? Okay, and the liquidity to the upside has now been taken, in my opinion. Okay, we could say that there's still liquidity above 12.4, but for the time being, this was our liquidity pool up to 12.4. Okay, so that has now been taken. Why was I trading this short? From the daily level. Okay, so our daily resistance. Let me just explain, by the way, that I was not expecting this extreme move to the downside the way that it came about. Absolutely not. But yeah, that was just the extreme move to the downside was a surprise, I guess. I was not expecting it to come down this far, but nevertheless it has, so we cannot complain. But obviously leading up to this move, okay, so let's go firstly now just cover leading up to this move. What have we seen? Okay, so leading up to the move this morning, we nicely saw higher low, higher low, higher low, and as you all know, I was long from this morning, and that was because we started to consolidate. Okay, consolidate at resistance, and consolidation underneath resistance led us to the upside. So if you are in the champions group anyway, you will know I was in a long today. Okay, so I was in a long from this and then moved up into, we got expansion. I don't know whether I'll even be able to find these messages, but I like to just go through the messages to show you that this is obviously all real. Oh, I don't know. We obviously write a lot in this chart. But anyway, I was obviously going through saying that, we have had expansion to the upside. Okay, this is, for me, it was a take profit area. And then we all know what happened here. I took profits. Okay, I did not close out of my long trade, but I took profits at hitting the daily level. And then what we saw was a move down to the 618. Okay, we had our 618 bounce. And this is where I entered into my short. Okay, so I did take a short on both of my accounts, actually. So I took the short on both of them at 10,925, and that was more for a hedge, but when we saw on the 5-minute time frame. Okay, so why did I have a suspicion? Okay, why did I have a suspicion that we were going to break down? Okay, just so you're aware as well, when we obviously formed this bounce, okay, what could we do? Move stops from below monthly up to this low, by the way. okay, because that was then this 618 holding. We don't want to see price coming back below the 618. Obviously, as it did, it moved down rapidly. So stops, moved up to here. But as pointed out in the group chat, I just found it here. I was mentioning how the funding rate was very, very bad. When you see such high funding rate, this is a worrying sign for longs, because if longs are paying 0.35 and the predicted was 0.05, that is an insanely high funding rate, along with a 1 billion in open interest was back at 1 billion. Okay, so you had the the open interest, just major resistance at hitting a billion. Okay, so you had that, and I did post this before it broke down as well in here. Was posting about the entry on the short, which is obviously from that position. Short sculpt from the outside of the Bollinger Bands. We closed outside of the Bollinger Bands, and this is a short sculpt that ends into a swing trade. Okay, clearly now, because I've still got the short open. Okay, and this is, if you remember back to my lesson on swing trade, on sculpt trading, it's when you hit those major levels. Okay, so when I took obviously the sculpt off of the monthly, that also ended into a swing trade. This is now also gone into a swing trade. You can watch about that video if you can't remember that. But that was it. Posted up this head and shoulders, and that's obviously here that we saw the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder, and then extreme move to the downside. So there was that little 5-minute head and shoulders pattern here. Okay, so now I've covered why we dropped down. Let's go over what we can see now on the chart. So moving back up to the monthly here, remove those fibs a second, remove this. Okay, so now we've broken through that clear support. Let's just put on our monthly levels back, because they are still relevant. Okay, they are still really relevant here. Obviously have our monthly there at 10.3, and we have our monthly here at 10.7. Okay, so where does that leave us now? Oh, so look at this, look at that. Come down to the 1 minute chart, another bounce off of the monthly. Like, these monthly levels are very relevant. Look, we can see that is a 0.5% bounce. We've not lost it yet, so this monthly is definitely relevant. There's no denying that. Okay, so what are we looking at now? Okay, so in terms of trades, I'm in a short now, obviously. So when I was stopped out of my long, so I made profits on that long, so that was nice. But I got stopped out of the long, and now I'm only in a short. Okay, so now would be a good time to take profits on a short. If you were also in a short, one would say it's a good time to take profits, because until you lose this monthly, okay, is support. So this is support until lost now. Okay, where we could in fact trade the range still, and this was a deviation from the range. Okay, so think back to my parallel channel lesson. Okay, although this is not a perfect parallel channel, don't get me wrong, but if we're just viewing this as a range, yeah, I know that we formed a series of high lows here, but now we are back at the bottom of the range. Okay, so we could potentially move back up to the top here and end up ranging here. So it's not a scenario where I would be jumping into a short right now. I would want to see a close below monthly, retest, breakdown. Okay, that would be for my entry of adding into a short position. Just for you, so you can see, by the way, on this account that I am in this short. Average entry is 10,668. So this is sat in a little bit of profits, and this is obviously the challenge account, by the way, which is going quite well. But yeah, you can see the open interest now has just totally flipped. Okay, so a predicted funding rate. So what was 0.05 is now negative. So that means now that in 16 hours, okay, so funding's only just being paid. So 6 minutes ago, a little bit too early. What we can say is that more people are in shorts now. So it's like one of these scenarios where we could end up range bound. Just be aware of this. So I wouldn't add, or if I was not in this short, I would not be opening a new short now at support. I would want to see it break down. Okay, so I would want to see the breakdown before I entered a short, because otherwise you're shorting at support, and I would say it feels like a FOMO short. Okay, so I would not personally be shorting here. I would short, though, a breakdown of this monthly. And let me just go over targets if we break. So I'll give you bearish targets first. Okay, bearish targets, we have to take the fibs from the very low here to high. We have to acknowledge that 10k is still a horizontal support, so that's a 0.5, isn't it? If we break down from the 0.5, we do have the 618 here, okay, which would be a secondary target. If we lose the 618 here, we come down to the lower portion of the move. But if we start coming down this low, guess what? I really believe that this is the time to break down to our much lower levels of the 7k. Is it too early to talk about 7k now? Yes, it is too early to talk about 7k now, because we still have support to get through. So don't just forget about the support, but those would ultimately be my targets. The 0.5, the 618, you lose the 618. Old horizontals, you lose that. And yeah, I don't see this holding again, and I'm fairly certain we'd be seeing 7k-ish, okay? But until that happens, it's still trading the range. Okay, so now a little bit of a more bullish scenario is that we end up range bound here. Okay, is that we end up range bound. Maybe we get a fake out back into the range, deviation from the top of the range, deviation from the bottom of the range, back into the range, and we do over time work our way back up. Okay, that would be a scenario. Of a bullish scenario, obviously, if we deviate from the range and then we end up working our way back to the top of the range and breaking out again. A bit of a scenario if you are looking for a short and you're not in one, you'd really be waiting for this to come up to the 382 region because you have all of this. Yeah, really, I wouldn't want to see price get back above this. I think I put my stops somewhere above this level. So yeah, that is for me a region of resistance now, where if you wanted a short, you would be looking to take this. Okay, middle of the range, the 0.5 to 382 as well. Okay, you have obviously lost this upward sloping parallel channel as well now. Okay, so when we were going along like this here, okay, you have now lost that upward sloping parallel. So if we do in fact do that, that's a possibility, isn't it, when we take our fib as well like this. Okay, so you could see that very nice confluence of that upward sloping trend line slash bottom of the channel slash middle of this channel. Okay, you're starting to see all that confluence coming together for a nice short. I would compound the short here, but I'd be very tight that if we come back into it, I would close out of the short. Okay, so I would close out, but I would initially compound here, but I would close out that short early if I saw price actually closing through and getting back into the range. Okay, so one more thing that I would like to show about this chart is, like I've said many times, okay, what happens in trading in general, okay, especially crypto, when we get an extreme move to the downside, okay, extreme move to the downside here, very fast. What happens? We move up very fast. Quick move down, quick move up. And now we saw a quick move up. So what can you do? A quick move down. Okay, it's just like the whale game's going on here. Moves down really fast, moves up really fast, and then moves down really fast. You know, it's all just really quick action, isn't it? Like, if we're honest, it's really quick action. And it's just this, seeing it coming up really fast, always laid into the possibilities of moving down really fast. Okay, also the volume on this breakdown is very high. So if we load up the volume here, you're going to see on the 1 hour, I think I was looking where it was extremely high. So yeah, you see the 1 hour on its own, that was the highest. So here we go. Oh, so we're kind of breaking down right now. Oh, I wanted to, let me just see here on the lower term time frames. What did I want to load here? So we need to be in our significant trades. Let's just see. Oh, I don't like this one anymore. Okay, so we are just about to lose the low on okay, so you are actually increasing in volume here. You are, though, this is the 1 minute chart. Got bullish divergence, but this is still heading down. You're seeing the increase in volume. You are seeing defense coming in. So you're seeing the defense coming in, but you have seen that initial break on higher volume. Obviously, so this is a little bit, you would expect continuation, okay? Because you start to see an increase in volume on the break. You also, I guess you can say that this is bullish divergences, but you know, this could just keep heading down. There's no turnaround yet, is there? So you're on the 1 minute chart, but it doesn't look like it's turning, does it? MACD, okay, really big on this, but the 1 minute chart is a little bit of a fake out chart. But if we just compare here, I'm gonna have to move this onto my second monitor. I'm really sorry because I can't do this all on one monitor. Okay, so we actually are seeing a little bit of bids come in and a lot of sells. Okay, so this, let me just see it. Okay, basically what we're seeing is a lot of there are actually people defending this with quite big bids. So you are seeing a bit of defense, but the volume on here makes me believe that we're gonna head down lower. Okay, the volume and the RSI not ticking up at all makes me believe this is heading down more, if I'm honest. 15 minute didn't even catch up. 5 minute didn't even catch up. 3 minute didn't even catch up. But this is not looking good, by the way. So you might not get a really nice short entry. Yeah, you might not get your short entry. We'll wait and see, I guess. Monthly level breaking down. Woohoo! Yes. So I would say you could wait for this. So this 15 minute. Let's see if it closes below the low. You've literally got 6 seconds left, where we're looking at this low. See if it closes below that or not. So it didn't close below the low, but that is definitely not a bullish close. Okay, that is really not a bullish close. 15 minute now below the monthly. 1 hour is not going to be closed yet. So you got 45 minutes left of this monthly. Okay, but now you are below the 200 EMA on the 1 hour. The 4 hour is still going to be okay. Yeah, you see this now. You've now got the 4 hour exponential moving average on the monthly and the 55 EMA. You've now seen the EMAs on the 4 hour bearish. Okay, the 1 hour. The 55 EMA is now resistance as well. So that is flipping into a big resistance there. Yeah, it's not something I'd be looking to long. Let me just say that. I wouldn't look to long this, to be honest. Now we're going to break up. But yeah, I personally wouldn't be looking to long this as it stands. You see why? Because it's not until you get back in the range, okay, and that it's a deviation. This right now looks like an opportunity for retest and back down rather than a deviation. Okay, how can we tell? We need time to really tell this. Okay, and it's whether price now gets back into here. Okay, then we call that a deviation from the bottom of the range. Okay, but it's not something I would long. I 100% wouldn't long here. If I'm honest, I 100% wouldn't long here. Okay, it's not until you get back into here and then we could say deviation from the range. But as it stands, this is not a deviation from the range. Okay, and this is something I would actually compound. So it's a little bit annoying that I'm on this account, but yeah, this is what I do in the Champions group. So I obviously have sent this invite out to contenders and players. But if you're not aware, in like my Sunday live streams, I do like live trading and stuff. So this is what we're going to do here. So this is where I would look to compound at basically that monthly flip. So 10-3-19. So I'm already in a short, but we can add. So this is like compounding. But what we really want to see is this. Okay, so let me just explain. What we want to see is a touchdown and really the rejection here. So we'd be looking at 10-3-19 to add into this. 10,319. Well, let's just front run this a little bit. Okay. Just want to add in like another 2,000. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now if we get that retest, we can add. And then what I would prefer the most actually is this, that we retest and then drop down again, and then I would add again. Okay, so that would be my favorite scenario, that we get this short filled and then we move down again and we get another short filled. That would be my favorite scenario. Maybe we don't get up for this. We have to just wait and see right now. But that would be my favorite scenario, that I get another short filled here. I should have took more really. But we'll just wait and see. So I'll just explain my stop loss, by the way. You can see the stop. So average entry. Oh, what just happened there? Oh, sorry, I'm losing my mind. So obviously average entry of this short right now is 10,600. Stops 10,950 in profits. Although yeah, I would hate to see, even though I don't really care about this account like too much, I would still hate to see the profits thrown away. Obviously, so what we're sat here at, I can't even work this out in the top of my head. $460. I'd hate to throw that away, and for a few hours of trading, that's still decent, isn't it? But yeah, the reason why I'm trading the stops here is this is a pivotal level, and yeah, we'll just have to see if we can get this short filled in a second. Yeah, it's basically though, if you deviate from the range, I would take off that again. So I would close out if we actually come back into this range, because then that's a deviation from the range. Okay, so what can we say here? This is an aggressive short. Okay, really aggressive short. But yeah, I'm happy to do it because of my average on this. Yeah, that's risky. Well, I don't know. It should. I think it will work. Yeah, so what you could say is a safer short if you don't want to. I'm not this, by the way, this is not a financial advice. This is education. But a safer short is for this to come up, reject, and then lose the low. Okay, that's the safer short. This is like an aggressive short. I'm being a bit aggressive because I have got a very good average entry. So one, I would view this as a trade I would take if I was in no position. Personally, I would take an aggressive entry. But if I was in no, if I, also just viewing that I'm in a position helps. But personally, if I was not in, because a compounded trade should be, if you're in no position, is it a setup on its own? I view this as a setup on its own, so I would take this regardless. But yeah, just so you're aware of that. Although it's aggressive, and yeah, I'm really aware we could deviate from the range and come back in. And if it does do that, I will close out basically of the short. But yeah, so now it's like just a bit of a waiting game, I guess, of do we deviate or do we get continuation down? Okay, so now this brings down your 382 level slightly, by the way, as well. So 382 coming around in 10.5 now. Pretty nice confluence when you then think that the 382 is now all of those lower wicks. That's pretty nice. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to load this up on my second monitor as well, another session, by the way, where I can actually do this as well. So bitmax, bitmax. Okay. Login. Bear with me 1 minute. Okay, so the sell orders are coming through on bitmax. Buy wall is pretty. Sell wall is pretty even at the moment. It's actually stacked to the buy side, by the way. I just need to get my two-factor. 1 second. In before everything is shown here. 1 second. Two-factor. Code. Cool. Right. I am going to compound here as well. I'm going to do it. Done 319. Okay. I'm going to move down my stops into profit. Cool. Right. Sorted. Right. Okay. I've got everything sorted now. So, right. That's basically how I'm viewing this. Okay. So, I would not necessarily still be extremely bearish because you still have got. You have to remember this 15-minute close. One could argue because of the pivotal level is not really enough. So that we would like to see really a 1 hour close because this whole chart was done off of the 1 hour. Like this was a nice 1 hour trading range. So really you'd want to see that back test. So if you get a 1 hour close above 10.319, then I would be classing this as a deviation from the range, and we can start then coming back into the middle. Okay, just like this is a deviation. Obviously you've shot down to the bottom of the range, but yeah, I'd still view that as a deviation in the short term if you get a close above 10.319, and then I would take serious profits as well on a short. I wouldn't just see the point in holding that any longer. It would then be playing, obviously, there's never ever a guarantee in trading. So yes, you could deviate from the range, come back in, and then fall down, and you have to acknowledge that as well. But still, when you deviate from a range, you more likely are then going to come back up to the top, or at least the middle of it. Okay, so that intersection there would be a next area of a trade. So questions: why taking trade on 5 minute when the 1 hour hasn't closed yet, or 4 hour? Aggressive trading, basically. So aggressive trading. Bit aggressive. Why am I a bit aggressive here? One, because the sell volume was very high on the drop. Okay. Two, we are now a bit below this monthly. So it's just like up here. Okay, it's like up here. I was aggressive in my short entry. Okay, so I was very aggressive in this short entry where I got filled at the top. If I was conservative in my short entry and waited for a breakdown of monthly, well, guess what? If you tried to short a breakdown of monthly, you would have actually not got filled until 10,400. Okay. Okay, so it's like the same. I was aggressive on the short entry, 10,925, and that obviously paid out very nicely, and that's why I've got a very nice average entry from shorting up there. And it's just like the same here. Like, you have to know when to be aggressive and when to not be, and this was obviously not many people are going to take this short, I don't think. But yeah, you just have to view opportunities. So why am I trade on the 5 minute when the 1 hour or 4 hours isn't closed yet? Just like the amount of personally being aggressive on this trade. Okay, and that doesn't always pay out. So it doesn't always pay out being aggressive, by the way. So sometimes the aggressive trader loses, and if I was conservative and waited, then maybe I profit because it moves up. Okay, but being an aggressive trader right now on today, I'm taking it now. Whereas a conservative is going to wait this out. Okay, and I'm not saying that I'm right by being aggressive. It's just my style today. Okay, as we all know, in this move up, if you were the aggressive shorter trying to short at every move up, you also lost out a lot of money, didn't you? Okay, for instance, if we were taking aggressive shorts on 618s here, on 618s here, for example, aggressive shorts were here, aggressive shorts were here. If you took the aggressive short, you got totally stopped out or lost money, basically. So the aggressive shorts in this scenario were very bad. And if you had waited for a confirmation of waiting and seeing a breakdown and then coming down, or seeing a breakdown and then coming down, conservative, very safe, and you wouldn't have shorted this whole move. Okay, the aggressive traders got wrecked, to be honest, and so the aggressive trade here might not necessarily be right, but on this example, it's just like the momentum. So I'm just following this, going with volume. Yeah, and I'll be happy to close out. You have to remember my fill of this aggressive trade is 10-3, 17. So 10-3, 17, and my invalidation will be closing back above 10-3, 50. So it's hardly any. I'm hardly risking anything by doing an aggressive trade on that level. Okay, because that's how I view that. Thanks for taking the time to put this up and explain. Yeah, no worries. I just felt it just was easier for me to do a video than try and write it all out. But yeah, I basically have explained all of my trades today, and I kind of, if people had followed what I had traded, then you would have done well, because obviously I originally took the long, that got up into profits. As we were sat at that level, I even said take profits, or I had taken profits. Whether you done the same, I don't know, but I did say very clearly that I had taken profits at that level. I then also made it very clear. Basically, I just was very clear about all my trades today on Bitcoin. And then I also was mentioning the funding rate, which is obviously bearish. Okay, and the rest is kind of going on and on and on, and yeah, there you go. I compound, so I took a scalp off of the 618, and then I closed here, as mentioned here, taking profits on the compounded trade for that's a 0.5% gain. So that was another trade, and we were amazed at how fibs work there. Then I made it very clear that I had entered this short, okay, and that was a short from the daily level, and closing outside of the Bollinger Band. So that was obviously transparent about taking that short trade. And yeah, I don't know, I was quite transparent about every trade that I took. And then I pointed this out, okay, and that was while price was at 10,800. So you also had time to short this with me if you were around in the chat, I guess. So yeah, I've done pretty well today. Called the move up. I didn't call this move down. I don't want to say I called that move down, but I shorted the move down, and then obviously got stopped out of my long and left the short running. So I've traded this like couldn't have got much better. And so now I'm trying to get on that retest, okay, and then it's if we come back here and close, I'll be out of that short, and really I'll look for a move up here, okay, and then reassess how it goes up here. Okay, so that's kind of my plan. So yeah, that is my plan. So does anybody have any questions about this? I think it's fairly simple, okay. If we come back in here and close, and then do that, retest and move up, I'll be looking for a move up to around 10.5 region, around here, okay. If you then start closing above this, then it seems likely that we'll go back up to the top of the range here, to be honest. That's kind of like a pivotal level. If you come back above this, I think we'll come back up to the top of the range, and in the end, okay, I guess I didn't cover a bullish scenario, did I? So I will explain a bullish scenario. If we manage to recover from this and get back up to the top of the range, I think that is extremely likely that we take this trend line, take the 618. Okay, I think it's very likely that we come up to this region, where I think it would be most likely if we come up back up here to actually move higher. I think it's very unlikely to see an exact rejection and come back down, because you can fake more people out by moving above. And at least doing like that would fake more people out. And you always have to think what ruins the most amount of people in trading, and that's what's probably going to happen. I think this would wreck more people. So yeah. So yeah, that's basically my plan, but I'd only be trading that long if we actually reclaim the bottom here. Okay, that's really important that you reclaim the bottom, reclaim 10.5. For a bullish scenario, you have to reclaim those levels. And until it's reclaimed, that bearish drop is bearish. Yeah. Um, Questions. Which time frame do you use? I trade all time frames. I love to trade 15-minute time frame. I love to trade I love to trade 3, 5, 15-minute day trading. I love to trade 4 hour and daily time frame swing trading. So those are my favorite time frames. Dan, do you count in Elliott waves on the smaller term time frames when you see moves down like this? Sometimes it depends whether I see use in counting an Elliott wave count like this. I see zero use in counting Elliott waves in this moment in time. Like this straight rip down, you don't even form a bear flag and you continue down. I don't see a point in counting Elliott wave on this. Zero use for me. Wasting my time doing an Elliott wave count. Okay, I see zero use in that. Personally, obviously when we were doing our first Elliott wave count, this one was helpful. So how could we, how do we were looking up at that extra move? We were going 1, 2, 3, 4 up for the fifth, and this was a count that I also posted in the group. Must have been 2 days ago after we hit this. Okay, it was more likely that we moved up for the third. What did we have here? We had obviously our starting diagonal, so we did have our starting diagonal in the first. Okay, then in the third here we also went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we had the 5, 5. We then saw a rejection, which kind of ended like a little kind of A, B, C. This ending here was very, very hard to count. Don't think it's going to help you too much, but we were expecting obviously a fifth wave back up. In the end, it was easier to trade this from a channel. Okay, and that would have been the channel to trade from. Okay, or we saw low to high, low to high, low to rejection off of the daily basically. So yeah, Elliott wave count like here, counting this, I don't see any advantage in counting an Elliott wave here. But like the overall move up was advantageous to use an Elliott wave count. This section here not advantageous to me anyway. I prefer to just trade off of this monthly. Earlier I was trading simply off of the daily. Okay, and so like these levels for me are more advantageous. Okay, and I was just aware that this fifth could have ended here, or we could have even ended up here. Okay, so I thought maybe that it was more likely that we get this intersection. Okay, but in the end the market didn't want that, and it kind of breaks down, and that's where the daily came in. Yeah, so it's all being technically traded, I guess, very well from a technical analysis standpoint. uh, would one have expected such a breakdown and in the manner that it's come? No. I guess you don't expect these kind of moves. um, but yeah, that's just a reaction. And why have we seen such a reaction? Because people going long here, trying to break, trade late to longs. You got stop losses trailed, maybe trailed, and then you break down, flush down. You get a lot of stop losses all at the same time. You get people shorting for the same time. This pattern was really, really clear, by the way, and that was before it broke down. So this was clear to me anyway. Hitting daily resistance, head and shoulders onto daily resistance was very clear that it was going to break down in my eyes. But did I expect it to break down to 10,300 straight away? No, I didn't. But the short was there. But the speed that it's come, no, I'll be honest, I didn't expect it to just flat out fall down. But I guess that was nice, good. But yeah, I never expected it to do this. Anyway, let's see if any other questions. Oh, hi, Igor. Yeah, no worries, everyone. So if anybody has any other questions, I'll stay for like 2 more minutes, just because I've already got all my trade set. So if anybody else has any other questions, then ask a question, I guess. And if not, let's just take a look at Litecoin back into the range. So altcoins actually done pretty well on that Bitcoin drop, by the way. I noticed Walton Chain got a little reaction. Where's Walton Chain here? So Walton Chain saw that reaction. We saw obviously Litecoin. You can see back up into here. So you did see alts actually do pretty well on the move. But generally, they're still not good at the moment. But yeah, you saw a little bit of a reaction, and that's just because they didn't fall as hard as Bitcoin. Yeah. So if the 1 hour closes below the monthly, then bearish. Yeah, I'd struggle to see a bullish reason at that moment in time. The only way I would get bullish on this is if it reclaims monthly. Only way. Closing here is not bullish. For me, the way that I view the charts, closing here is not bullish. It's not until you reclaim here. So if you close here, I'd view that as bearish, 100%. I would really struggle to view that as bullish. Only way for me as a bullish scenario is reclaiming this monthly, and that is to get back above it, okay? Anything closing here is, for me, bearish. Okay? That is 100%. Is it best alts to short? Uh, every single alt. For me, I've been shorting alts and I've been making a lot of money. All I would say is you want to be really, really careful with shorting alts right now because it suddenly seems like a craze. So this was a really funny joke that I made today. That where was it? Basically, I've been shorting alts for a while now, and it's been going very well. And then we started seeing other accounts posting their shorting alts as well, and I was just like making a joke, like maybe it's time to think about longs. So basically, when the majority of the market starts thinking the same, it's a really bad plan. And so while nobody was thinking of shorting alts, I found it a very, very good opportunity, and I made references to this a while ago. Okay. Yeah, like this. I don't see many speaking about it, but honestly, shorting altcoins from major resistances is the winning trades to be taking. Like, and I've made references that no one was talking about it. So while nobody talks about shorting alts were an absolute gold mine because nobody was doing it. But then when we start to see massive accounts start saying this, is just like, yeah, maybe it's time to stop shorting alts because I don't like being on the same side of the market as everybody else. Really, I like to play a contrarian in that regards. So yeah, I'm still in shorts on alts, and it's not until they reclaim some levels that it's invalidated. I'd just be a bit wary of shorting alts again because if everyone starts doing it, then just be a little bit careful. But I mean, looking on the macro, I think every altcoin looks really nice. So what do we see? ADA, that's coming down to support, by the way. So you do see this. I did say, by the way, when I was referencing this to people, that this was a target, and you can see that it did hit target and it's getting a reaction. But so that's obviously hit daily support right there on Cardano. Ethereum is just looking bad. So Cardano is getting a reaction from the daily. Ethereum, not good. BCH, reaction from our weekly level. EOS, holding that trend line, holding that weekly. LTC breaking up from that falling wedge on, well, back into the falling wedge. XRP, which I'm also shorting, is just being like an SR flip. So this is seeing a little reaction, but it's like middle of nowhere. I mean, alts are, I would just be careful getting into alts late, shorting alts. You have to remember that a lot of these are just killed already. So I do think it's a little bit late to the party. I guess that depends which ones you're looking at. Like, I wouldn't be shorting like ADA right now because it's just bounced off of daily support. So it's like, don't short these coins right now. Wait for it to then break down from the level. Okay, so some of the best shorts are like once it's confirmed the breakdown. And I guess the weakest is ETH. Like, this just looks awful. Okay, it does really, I'll be honest, it looks awful. But yeah, and even this USD pair just looks awful. So ETH, I think, is the weakest alt right now. But I'm shorting BCH, I'm shorting XRP. I mean, I was in an ADA short, but seeing that reaction, I'll probably take profits on that and close out because that's a nice reaction from that daily support. But yeah, I missed this because Bitcoin jumped up. But yeah, so like the alts are decent, but I'd just be a little bit wary of being late to the party, I guess. Is you all time frames how you decide where to find a golden zone? Okay, so you want to find Fibonacci confluence. So for example, here we are on the hourly chart. We can clearly say there would be our golden pocket, for example. It's like finding confluence on different time frames. You have actually no real nice pools at this moment in time. So another pool for me would be at the start of the breakdown here. So it's then trying to find confluence. So there's no amazing confluence between these levels, a little bit of the 382, but basically you start pulling on different time frames and you start to try and find confluence in your fibs. Okay. But there's no real like amazing confluence. Well, I guess this is a little bit of this pool to this pool, but this is not a really amazing pool. But like the monthly on this 618, okay, but this fib pool for me is like not a major, like not a major level. It's the horizontal there, but you do also have that fib as well, don't you? So I guess it's nice, but you haven't got confluence of the fibs. What I like to do is see confluence of the fibs of them like lining up together, and then that just gives me more confidence. Thank you for your time. I learn a lot from you every day. Yeah, no worries. I am very, very happy to help you. I'm really happy, honestly. So yeah, no worries. I'm glad it helps. Cheers for explaining. Yeah, no worries. Where do you short alts? I mean, what platform? I've been shorting alts on Binance, and been shorting alts on BitMEX. So the both, but I prefer to short them on BitMEX. But you can do it on Binance and on BitMEX, both of them. Um, yeah. So I do think I am going to wrap it up right now. Um, any final questions for the next 2 minutes? And if not, I'm going to wrap it up. Obviously, it's nice to it's nice to give you all an update on how I'm trading this, how I'm looking to trade this, what to expect next. I mean, I just want to like highlight the importance of like being patient at times. So I say that while being aggressive on this short, but honestly, being patient at times is really, really beneficial in trading. You don't want to find yourself FOMOing into this short, really. Um, you know, you do want to be a bit patient because maybe you wait 24 hours and you have moved up to here, and then you don't always want to be like really aggressive and really FOMOing into trades. And it always depends on your position sizes, where you're already, compounding, averaging, laddering. It's always things to think about. It's never a plain simple answer, but yeah, we're very happy you're doing so good, and we hope you can be like you someday. Oh, that's really nice. Thank you so much. Obviously, like. So this was really nice. I loved it in the group yesterday where people were asking me about like where I came from on trading, like my story behind trading. Oh, I don't even know where we're maybe going on this. But yeah, I can't remember. It's going to be up quite a bit. But basically, we were like talking about like how I come from trades, and how people, whether they could imitate how I've traded and my success. And I was just basically like, yeah, of course, like the things I've done, I learned, and I'm now teaching, or yeah, teaching you. So yeah, you can definitely like follow my footsteps, I guess, and be the trader that I am. 100%. 100%. I'm trying to find like the messages. Oh yeah, it all started from this. Where when was my best year? And I was like saying my best year was 2018. Although I've been trading a while, like my best year in terms of percentages was 2018. Um, yeah, and for that reason. So yeah, cool. So I am gonna call it a night now. BT video updates from your blessing. Yeah, no worries at all, Chris. No worries at all, Igor. Yeah, no worries. I thought it would be nice to do an extra stream tonight for the members, just because of the drop that we've seen here, and many people are going to be caught in the headlights of not expecting this to happen, and then if you don't expect something to happen, then you're caught in the headlights thinking, what do I do? And you could easily FOMO short into this, and I would probably say maybe you don't want to take the same trade as me here short and give it a bit of time, because you could just reclaim this level, and that is then a little like more bullish, where we'd be expecting this move up here, and then we're either going to get a reaction, or we're going to see it hold, maybe drop down, form a higher low, and break back up to the range. So I think it all depends how it goes in this series of higher lows, really. You're going to want to see really something like this form. Where's the tool? Like for a bullish scenario, you're going to want to see it come back into this range, coil up, maybe fake one more time down, okay, and then sort of move up in a series of higher lows back up here. Okay, that's going to obviously be your bullish scenario. So yeah, I would be a little bit careful being too aggressive like I am with this short, because you could easily, um, you know, then no need to be too aggressive, I guess. Or you see one more move down like this, and then you get your 3 valleys, and then you move back up. I mean, there's still a lot of time, so I would say 15 minutes left of the hourly close. So you're retesting that level right now, by the way. So you're retesting this, so this should fill my short in a second. But you are retesting that level now. But the volume is obviously so weak. But yeah, this is... So yeah, I'll just say, although I'm taking this short, it's not necessarily a short I would say everybody should be taking. You know, you want to trade your own plan, trade your own strategy. This is my strategy. You know, this aggressive trade is not really for everybody. You know, you could wait essentially and just wait for it to reclaim and look for a long. Okay, up to here, up to here, up to here. Okay, or the alternative scenario, okay, would be, well, I guess the best scenario would be you want to see that if you're going short, or you wait for it to find rejections here and then break down again. Yeah, so that's the few ways you could trade that. Thanks for the stream and education, mate. No worries. Yeah, this was just a random stream that I decided to just do to help people out. It's no worries at all. So yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed this one. I will move this stop loss down now into more profit. Okay, and that's just because I've compounded. I want to move that down again. Cool. So yeah, hope that you have all enjoyed this one, and thank you so much, I guess. And I'll catch you in, well, if you're a champion, I'll catch you on Sunday, and we'll do some proper live trading, and we'll do some scalping and some alts and stuff. If you're a contender, I'll see you in the contender stream. If you're a player, I guess you can watch back some more of the other streams. Oh yeah, for the players, by the way, I did give you access to a few more of the older streams, so you've got quite a lot to watch back through in there as well. So yeah, thanks everybody. Thank you so much. Keep your eye on this, how this goes. So what we can see here on the 1 minute. Okay, it's not really doing anything so at the moment, is it? So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there, because otherwise I always find myself doing this. I'll just like hover around at the end of the video when I could just cut it off and save everyone's time. So thank you so much, everybody. I will be on Discord, so if you have any questions that I haven't answered, just shoot me a question here, and yeah, we'll go through it there. If not, then I will catch you around. Thank you everybody so much. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend. If this does, so just one final ending, I guess, of the video, just to really quickly overview everything. If you do come back inside of the range, okay, then we can call that a deviation from the bottom of the range, like that was a deviation from the top, and it's more likely to become range bound in here, back into the range, okay, so back into range trading. Okay, it's only if you see the rejection and the drop down, then it becomes bearish. Any other move is more bullish, okay, and we could view that as a really big fake out to the downside before a strong move up. Okay, that's going to require, I would say, the weekend before we can really tell whether that's happening. We need 24 hours, okay, after such a move. You need time to process the move, basically. So really you're going to need about 24 hours going into weekly close on Sunday night. So there's no real need to rush into a trade right now. Be patient. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. So thank you, everybody. And I will catch you. Oh yeah, by the way, so you could also hedge long in here. So if you are short from up here, so this is an option I would do because I like using 2 accounts. You could hedge long here, stop loss below the long lows, and actually long this up to the 382, up to the mid range. Wouldn't target the top from now, but up to the top here, up to the 382. So you could potentially long this up to there if you're feeling very aggressive long. Okay, I'd really wait for it to properly reclaim the monthly, which is still below the monthly, isn't it? So it hasn't got back in there yet. So just be aware of that. The long yet is not a trade I would take. I'd want it to actually reclaim that monthly before I went long. But you could then, once it's reclaimed, get in on that aggressive long stops below the low. Okay, but again, you need time, because at the moment it's just rejecting from the monthly. Okay, so you're back below it. So we'll have to see how this goes. Give it half an hour at least to see if it reclaims that level. So yeah, thanks everybody. Catch you next week. Hope you've enjoyed this quick update. And yeah, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your evening. Any questions, let me know. And thank you. I hope that you have thoroughly enjoyed today's trading, because I'll be honest, it has been very, very nice all round, really. So yeah, cheers everybody. Thank you. Good night. Bye.